Pythagoras was born in Samos in ancient Greece. He lived in 500 BC. No data was kept from when he was born, but they suggested that he died in the 400 BC sometime. He proved that the Pythagorean theorem was true, and that is how he got his fame. One interesting fact about him is that he headed a cult known as the Secret Brotherhood that worshipped numbers and numerical relationships.
Greek philosopher and mathematician Pythagoras is thought to have seen the Great Pyramids of Egypt and thought up what is now called the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem states that for any right triangle, the hypotenuse, or side opposite the right angle, will equal the sum of squares of the legs of the triangle. Thus the equation a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Pythagoras might have thought up the theorem, but the idea had been in use by civilizations predating his time. The ancient Egyptians used a rope with 12 knots tied into it at equal distances, creating a 3, 4, 5 right triangle to measure out and build the Great Pyramids. The idea is also prevalent in ancient China, where the theorem is called Gonggu theorem for the 3, 4, 5 triangle.
There is some basic terminology that goes with the Pythagorean theorem. The first are the legs. These are the two sides of the triangle that form the right angle. The second part is the hypotenuse. This side of the triangle is opposite of the right angle, and which is the largest side of the triangle. This photo shows an illustration of what I was talking about with the legs and hypotenuse. As you can see, the two legs form the right angle, and the hypotenuse is across from the right angle, and the hypotenuse is the longest.
A squared plus b squared equals c squared, where A and B are the legs of the right triangle, and C is the hypotenuse. So here, since our legs have lengths of 6 and 8, and our hypotenuse has a length of x, we can set up the equation 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. Solving from here, 6 squared is 6 times 6, or 36, and 8 squared is 8 times 8, or 64. So we have 36 plus 64 equals x squared. 36 plus 64 is 100, so we have 100 equals x squared. Now to get x by itself, since x is being squared, we must take the square root of x, and if we take the square root of the right side of the equation, we must also take the square root of the left side of the equation. On the left, the square root of 100 is 10, and on the right, the square root of x squared is x. So our answer is 10 equals x.
Many people like baseball. The baseball diamond can be cut in half and creates two right triangles. For example, if the catcher throws a ball from home plate to second, how far is that throw? On an average baseball diamond, the space between plates is around 90 feet. So we can draw a triangle and say that side A and side B are equal to 90. Using the Pythagorean theorem, we know that a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Thus, 90 squared plus 90 squared is equal to c squared. Since 90 squared is 8,100, then 8,100 plus 8,100 is equal to 16,200. Then c squared would equal 16,200. Taking the square root of both sides, thus taking the square root of 16,200 and c squared, gives the answer of c is equal to 127.279. Thus the catcher threw the ball approximately 127.279 feet.
I'll finish today's math lesson with a little joke, which I'll let you read on your own.